Welcome back to the Fantasy Dad Duo, where I am allowed to rank running backs, but my wife says I can't rank the kids anymore. How you doing, Jeff?
I'm I'm doing all right, dude. I'm doing all right. Uh
My father-in-law just walked in, and I stumbled over my words, but we're gonna pretend it didn't happen.
oh, that's hysterical. Yeah, my father-in-law scares the shit out of me sometimes too. So today was a good day. We had a good day in the Sits household. We're all just kind of getting over the thunderstorm that happened last night. And, my daughter decided that she was going to wake up with the sort of scream that you only hear in the movies. It was like a
Ooh.
scream. It was like a scream fest movie scream, and I've never heard anything like it. So I sprang out of bed to see what was the matter. And dude, I don't think I don't think my small build has moved that fast in at least over a decade. Like oh my god, there's you never catch yourself moving as fast as you do when your kids are upset and they're in their own room and you're trying to figure out what's going on. I've never moved. I felt like Usain Bolt. I don't even know. Don't know
You
what
got that dad
happened.
strength.
Don't know what I ran past. I just remember running past my wife in the bathroom and her being like, "All I did was walk out," and that was all it took for our little girl to not be happy. I'll tell you what though, she woke up like 5 minutes before this insane thunderstorm started happening, and I was like, she knew, she knew, she felt it.
Probably.
Her and the birds.
We just had a crazy thunderstorm over here as well, and my kids slept through it, crashing thunder and all.
Damn, that must have made you feel good.
It sure did. Although I was worried. I'm like staying up. We lost power, so my monitor wasn't working. I grabbed the blanket and I slept on the floor in my daughter's room in case she woke up crying and I wouldn't have been able to hear her.
There you go, dude.
All right, let's get into episode 17, where we'll be talking about our favorite players in each round. We did this a while ago. We had a couple change, and we'll talk about some tough draft day decisions. Um, let's start with round one, where drafts are not won, but they could be lost. So I'm picking one of the safest players in the first round, one that we both like, and I'll put a caveat. It's always hard to pick a first round player because where you draft matters so much, right? So I'm not going to take Amon Ra over Gibbs. I'm not going to take him over Bijan. I'm not going to take him over JSN. But if I find myself in that 6 or 7 slot, I'm going to go with the safe pick. I'm taking Amon Ra all day because I just know what I'm getting. I'm getting a top 5 wide receiver, almost guaranteed.
Yeah, he's one of those guys. I mean, looking at his numbers, the last what 4 years 1161, 1515, 1263, 1401 with 610, 12 and 11 touchdowns. He's 6,252 in 5 years for yards and 44 touchdowns. I mean, he is the real deal. Like he's a dog. His game just does not seem to change. His yards per reception are all over 10 every single season that he's played. It's just he could go 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12.
Yeah, yeah.
Anywhere in
I've
that
seen
range.
him drop. Yeah, I've seen him drop. Yeah.
Anywhere in that range he could go, but it's all first round. So I mean, good pick. I've nothing bad to say about that because Amon Ra is somebody that you could center your entire team around. He's got the talent.
Here's what I love about him is he's gone 4 years in a row now where he's gotten at least 141 targets. That's so much involvement that he doesn't have down weeks. And he's gotten like banged up a couple times, like he's got some minor injuries.
Yeah.
It
Yep.
it doesn't slow him down. So you draft him, you know you're getting 16 games of wide receiver one, wide receiver two production.
Correct.
And that consistency also lets you take a couple chances later in the draft. If you draft somebody like Christian McCaffrey, you need to fill your roster with safe players because he's not.
Yeah, he's a risk, especially after the amazing year and all those touches that he had last year.
Yeah, too many. 400 plus if you count the playoffs for CMC.
Yeah, he's still going high though. But all right, so we'll talk my number one guy. It's not one overall. He's probably in the I'd put him in the 10, 11, 12 range. I would take him at 12. I took him at 12 today in the draft. He's not Brandon Aubrey, the kicker from the Cowboys, but he's definitely somebody that'll put the points up on the board for you. Ashton Jeanty, the Raiders' new favorite toy. Hopefully, we thought he was going to be last year. He who must not be named proved us a little wrong on that aspect of Raiders football. But who's paying any attention to the Raiders anyway? So Ashton Jeanty, great career at Boise State. He had an absolutely, well, I won't say an absolutely. He had for the most part a very disappointing rookie season on the Raiders. I thought he was going to do amazing things right off the rip. Second season, you can still call it right off the rip because we won't count last year since he who must not be named is the one that ruined that team. Anyways, I do think
let's talk Jeanty a little bit because you put your money where your mouth is, and you traded down in your recent draft to take him at 12. You traded down from what?
Correct.
From 6.
5. I was at 5. I had 5 and I moved down.
So you actually traded down. Let's put some names to the test of if you would draft Jeanty above him. Would you draft Jeanty above Devon Achane?
Yes.
Chase Brown?
Yes.
James Cook? That's where it starts to get a little interesting.
Yeah, I want to say yes. Like the yes is right there. It's right there at the tip of my tongue. But the reason why I'm not is because of the year that he had last year. Cook just went off. He had a great season last year. And I do think he is going to repeat, maybe not to last year's extent, but I just think, I don't know, Jeanty this year, he's going to be a different player this year with the way that team is attempting a rebuild. And you have to call it attempting because you can't call it a complete rebuild yet. But excuse me. I think he's getting to the point, and watching tape on him and seeing him as he grew through the year last year when he was actually given the ball. He's got so much power behind how he starts. His acceleration is very scary. And that's what you want. And that's what the Raiders need. And that's what you need in fantasy football. His acceleration has so much power behind it. You almost get a little glimpse of what Jerome Bettis was like.
It's true. I
don't want to use that as like a complete comp, but it's like the best one that I could come up with in the moment.
He's a little bit more Marshawn Lynch than Jerome Bettis, I think. Marshawn had a little bit more wiggle, but Jeanty had some more passing chops than Marshawn had.
True.
So it's not a great comp, but there aren't too many. Doug Murray, there's a good comp for him. He's like this short guy, 5'8", 5'9", with just like he's like a bunch of springs. It's like you hit him and it's just like getting hit with like a brick wall. And I think I kind of go back and forth on the James Cook, Ashton Jeanty like idea every day because James Cook's in the better offense and he could do it a lot of different ways. But Jeanty kind of is that offense. So if they end up being pretty good, Jeanty, I think, is going to outscore James Cook because if the Raiders are a top half offense, he's going to have 350 touches. He's going to have 1,500 yards and maybe 500 more through the air. So he really could have a huge year if they're good.
The league I drafted him in already has him projected at over 20 points. It's like 20.2 or something like that in the first game of the season. And I'm like, damn, we're this far out and they're already fucking bumping his numbers up. He's got, oh my God. You love to see what they do every once in a while with these different the different apps that you're using for your between. So the three that I use are Yahoo, Sleeper, and ESPN, and looking at how all three of them work and just seeing what their projections are, depending on whether it's half PPR, whatever it may be. It's very interesting to see what those projections are and how much they're going to bump them up. And it's different.
Do you have a favorite?
Do I have a favorite?
Do you have a favorite?
Sleeper. Yeah, Sleeper's
for
my number
functionality or for projections?
Functionality.
Yeah, okay. I'm a Yahoo guy for functionality for sure, but that's just because I grew up on it. But Yahoo's projections suck.
Dude, Yahoo's projections are fucking. How many times do you go in there and you see somebody that we're using on IDP that's like projected 30 or 40 points at the beginning?
Yeah, we had one guy projected for 100 one time in 1 week.
Oh my god! Like it's just shit. It's just fucking wild. And Yahoo, yeah, you gotta think they're doing it on purpose. They gotta be doing it on purpose sometimes just to fuck with the guy that has that player on their team. And if they are doing it on purpose, I bow down to it because that is absolute amazing. Absolutely.
Let's move on to round two. And neither one of us are allowed to talk about Omari Hampton here because I think unfortunately, he's both of our favorite second round picks.
That is true. Yeah, 100%.
So
I took him today in the second round. I took him first pick in the second round today.
Yeah, again, money where your mouth is because I think he's like 18 or 19 right now. So you took him at 13, so you did put your money where your mouth is. But since we can't talk about Omari, I'm going to talk about AJ Brown. And I know you're going to disagree with this one, Jeff, but AJ Brown was a wide receiver one multiple times on a low volume passing offense on that Eagles team. He had years where he almost went 1,500 yards. He had multiple years with double-digit touchdowns, and he always misses games. So on a per-game basis, that's even better. Drake May is going to throw the ball more than Jalen Hurts. Can you agree with that?
As much of a Drake May hater I am, widely known, yes, he is going to throw the ball much, much more. Drake May is not a tushy-pushy. He is a guy we've seen that he has a cannon for an arm. He knows how to use it, and he's got some accuracy in there as well. Now it tasted like fucking gasoline coming out, but yes, I do think he's going to throw the ball much, much more than, especially now because he's got a new toy, and his new toy is very, very good at what he does. He might be a prima donna. Sometimes the worst part about his game might be himself. But last year, all the complaints that he went through, they said he's not throwing the ball to me enough, this and that, yada, yada. He still had over 1,000 yards and he still had 7 touchdowns. So, I mean, granted, he had 121 targets with 78 receptions. That's not.
It's not great. It's not great.
It's not the greatest, yeah. But, I mean,
if I were to put a number on it, I would say he's going to get 150 targets, maybe 140.
If I had to put my money where my mouth was, I'd probably stay between 140 and 150, somewhere in that range.
And I would say that puts him around 1,300 yards. And as long as they use him in the red zone, double-digit touchdowns, I would say, are more than likely. So I mean,
even if they're not, he's pretty good after the catch. Ooh, excuse me.
Oh, he's great after the catch. Oh, yeah. The only concern out there that I will hear is that he's going into age 29 season, and sometimes wide receivers of his stature, big, strong guys like that, fall off fast. We saw it with Andre Johnson. We've seen it with a couple guys like that, these great talents who take some hits. Once they lose the step, it happens fast. So that's a concern, but I'll still take him in the second round as my wide receiver one and feel real good about it.
Yeah, I wouldn't argue with that. I think he landed in a very good spot for him and for the team. It's for the Patriots themselves. I think they landed in a great spot. You could kind of say that they were trying to replace Diggs, and they did more than that.
They're very different wide receivers also.
They are, but
Diggs-
I also
yeah,
think Diggs is a way bigger problem off field than Brown is.
which is saying something because Brown is a problem off the field too. He is a prima donna.
Correct. But
You see the video of AJ Brown absolutely toasting Sauce Gardner in practice. It got me pretty juiced up. It got me pretty juiced up.
I did not see that one.
I moved them up my board a little bit after seeing that.
All right, I could get down with that. I could get down with that. Ain't nobody got time for that. So second round, somebody that I'm not always the biggest fan of, but if Burrow is there, he tends to do better with Burrow on the field at the exact same time. So Chase Brown, no relation to AJ Brown. I think I like him early second. Would that be?
I've seen him go all over the place.
Top 5, maybe top 6 in the second round. I think is is where I would see him going. Especially if going into it, not to cut you off, but going into the season with Joe Burrow healthy, I see him going in the top of the second round. That's what I should have said.
His current rank is 14. I've seen him go all over the second round. I think people are a little bit afraid of the Joe Burrow health situation. I think people are a little bit afraid of just like the overall talent, but everybody loves the opportunity and the situation while healthy. So
yeah, I mean he's just progressively. I mean, he went from 990 to 1019. So yes, that's gotten better. And then with reception yards, he went from 360 to 437. So he is slowly but surely getting better, and he's in really like the third year of his starting career. So he's at the point of where he's got to start getting like the feel, like the training wheels are off, and he's like really starting to move. And I honestly, I will say this: I think if Joe Burrow was there, and if Chase and Higgins are having years that Chase and Higgins should normally have with Burrow healthy, I think with those training wheels off, I think Chase Brown is going to show us a little something.
There's also no reason that he can't rush for 10 touchdowns, 12 touchdowns.
I mean, yeah, you could say that about a couple of guys that we would want to talk about today, but the reason why they don't is because they just don't. Some guys have that issue capitalizing.
It's true.
And that's normal. So like when you talk about like normal football fan, that problem capitalizing, of course, fans hate when their top guys on their team or one of their top guys on their team can't score a fucking touchdown. We hate that as fans. I'm a Giants fan. I know how that feels. Trust me. But as a fantasy player, as a fantasy manager, as a fantasy manager, when I'm more meant someone that plays fantasy, but you are the manager in fantasy, so I little slow still. Long night last night. As a fantasy manager, you hate it when your guys can't capitalize because you're losing out on points. But if you're still a guy that, being the player, that's still averaging 80 to 100 rushing yards a game, you're still going to get the points that you're looking for out of that player for where you're going to use him.
Also in half-point PPR, I mean, 70 catches last year. I think you could, or 69. You could also You could also project them for about the same. So 70, 80 catches. That's 40 extra points of half-point PPR. That's a hefty chunk.
Yeah, he's on the same. And now I hope I don't get fucking roasted for this, but if I do, so be it. He's on the same boat that Gibbs and Bijan are on, not because of the overall talent and not because he's going to put up the same kind of numbers that they're going to put up, only because he's the guy that can rush and also has hands to catch the ball as well. He does the same kind of game. He just doesn't do the same kind of game to the extent that the guys that are going 1-2, 2-1, whatever it may be, in everyone's fucking league this year. He's not up there with them, but he's got the same kind of game. He just needs to learn how to be a little bit more well-rounded and not worry about when his quarterback is not in.
You need to watch these comparisons, Jeff, because Gibbs and Bijan and Chase Brown coming out in the same sentence, it doesn't.
No, it's not that I'm not comparing his game to their game. I'm comparing to his game style to their game style.
He plays football. He plays the running back position. So that's a comparison that I'll say.
My God, sometimes you just really fucking. Let's move on, you fucker. Come on.
In the third round, and there's actually a lot of guys in the third round that I like. I had a really tough time deciding because it depends a lot on like my team build, what I'm looking for. But I like Josh Allen, I like Malik Neighbors, I like Devontae Smith, Kyron, Jeremiah Love, Ted McMillan. I really like a lot of these guys, but I picked Zay Flowers because he's really who I want to talk about. I've bashed the Ravens quite a bit this offseason.
I mean, on this podcast, you've done it almost every other episode.
And I'll do it again right now. I see that offense taking a step back, but you have to throw the ball to somebody, and Zay Flowers, I think, is that guy. They just paid him $140 million, so they see him the most guaranteed money per year, whatever the stat is. He's making more money than Justin Jefferson. So they see him as an alpha one wide receiver. Whether or not you or I see him as that is a different story, but they see him as that. If his volume remains about the same or goes up a tick, from 118 targets to 130, 140, that's a step in the right direction. But really what I see is a little bit of touchdown luck coming his way. Him going from 5 touchdowns to 8, 5 touchdowns to 9. And plenty of people bash him for not being like a touchdown catcher. But people were bashing JSN too. So these little guys, if they could get the separation, they could catch touchdowns. I love him in the third round. I like him even more in the fourth round, which he falls to sometimes. But I'm going to have a lot of Zay Flowers this year.
I'm not a big Zay Flowers guy. I'm not a big Ravens receivers guy, except for one of the rookies that they have coming up.
Jacoby or Surratt?
Jacoby.
He looks great in camp. He looks
really he does. He looks real fucking good. Zay Flowers, okay, I'm gonna chime in on something that you just said because it's the one reason he needs to be a touchdown guy. He does. He needs 1,211 yards last year, basically 200, a little less, 100 and change up from what he had last year. So it's like a 1 game difference from the year that he had the year before. 4 touchdowns the year before, 5 touchdowns last year. He needs to push forward and become that guy that's gonna. Oh, anything over 1,200 yards? Perfect. Easy. No big deal. Anything over 7 touchdowns? Perfect. Easy. No big deal. Can he do it? Yeah, I think he can do it. I think he's got the talent there to do it. It's just a matter of sometimes it feels like he gets looked at more in those red zone situations when Lamar is there and not when Lamar is hurt.
Lamar doesn't really look at him that much either. I think one of the main reasons
we're talking off of like one main season though. 2 years ago is really what I'm talking about.
2024, Lamar was there too.
That's what I meant. He was hurt less that year than he was last year.
Yeah. The one reason I'm feeling a little optimistic is they have that new OC, Declan Doyle, right? That's his name. They have a new OC, and we've only seen Lamar with Monken and Harbaugh. So maybe they work some stuff up where they target him a little bit more in the red zone. maybe they work some stuff up where,
Did they give him all
he
that
takes
money
more.
before the new crew came in for the coaching staff?
No, they just gave it to him. So the new
Yeah,
staff.
something's gonna change. Yeah, that's the big. We should have led with that. That's what we should lead with next time. That's if the new coaching staff is giving him and is suggesting, probably helping suggest whatever it may be to the front office, that he get that kind of money, something's going to change. There's going to be some numbers that grow somewhere.
And he was wide receiver 7 last year.
Hey,
he's going as wide receiver 15. So if he repeats, he's worth that pick.
Correct. Right, I agree. My guy that got stolen from me in the fucking second round, which was, I mean, relatively early, a round or two early for this guy. Emeka Egbuka is he's probably the number one receiver that I've been fucking paying attention to. I'm not really a receiver guy in the first or second round. If I have a first or second round pick in our draft, that's dependable. Emeka Egbuka is just, last year, those first couple of games, he really showed that he had the full fucking package. A couple of days ago during practice, he showed that he could fucking catch the ball like few can. He's just, I love the way he runs. I love the way he jumps. I love the way he can fucking change which route he's gonna do in like a millisecond. It's just, he's a fun guy to watch play. He just needs to, I mean, this is where it gets me. 127 targets and 63 receptions.
He led the league in non-catchable targets.
Okay, so I mean,
so a lot of those are not his.
We've got to lessen the distance in between the two of those, though. That's all I'm saying. Yeah. Even if it's by 15, whatever it may be, 15 to 25, lessen that a little bit. I think his if he gets 15 to 25 more receptions this year with the same amount of targets.
Sorry, father-in-law.
He goes up. If he gets same amount of targets, 15 to 25 more receptions, he goes up easily 200 yards, maybe 2 or 3 touchdowns.
If he keeps the same amount of targets, 127 is more than Zay Flowers. If he keeps the same amount of targets, he could catch 90 balls if the offense is running a little bit better. So not even that much needs to change to push him from what he is to wide receiver 1. The only thing I'm worried about is he did all of his damage, and I mean like all of his damage, when Chris Godwin and Mike Evans were. When they were on the field, his production cratered. And
Evans is gone.
Evans is gone. Yeah, so that's one step. And Chris Godwin is a year older and often hurt. So, you got to feel pretty good about it.
I feel very good about it. I think he's going to do very well. He's at. Am I hearing wide receiver 1 on the Bucks?
You have to imagine he's going to be wide receiver 1 on the Bucks.
That's what I
Is
thought.
it possible Chris Godwin out targets him? I suppose, but I would be surprised.
The last thing I would have to say would be like, for him to get stolen from me and somebody to snag him in the second round. What the fuck, Kyle? What the fuck?
At least you get to keep him in our league. Let's hear some names, though. Let's hear some names. Let me give you some this guy or that guy and see who you would draft.
With Egbuka?
Egbuka or Devontae Smith?
Oh, fuck.
So Devontae Smith is at 28 and Egbuka is at 35. So they're in the same range.
Yeah, they're in the same, but yeah, and I like the way Baker throws more than the way that Jalen tushy pushes. So I'll probably say, but Smith is just gonna have a hell of a year. I'd probably go Egbuka anyways, just off of the quarterback.
I'll take Smith. Let's say Egbuka or 10.
Oh man,
They're right next to each other.
Yeah, they are right next to each other. I think both of those would be good decisions. I'll say even on that one.
Okay, and the last one, Ibuka or Zay.
Dude, I mean, fucking let's check. So Zay's targets 108, 116, and 118. And last year he was targeted 120. I mean, I'd probably go Ibuka just off of the targets alone.
All right, so you're sticking with your guy, and like I said, I just love this round. I really don't think you can go wrong. I think all of those guys are good picks. Let's move on to round 4.
Correct. Round 4.
And I'm going to go with the tight end. Colston Loveland has a chance to be tight end 1. Now, he needs a couple things to fall his way, and I'm still taking Brock and Trey McBride over.
Yeah, I think he was the third overall tight end taken in my league today at work.
He's getting some steam. He's shooting up boards. At the beginning of the offseason, I had Tyler Warren ahead of him. I think I've come back a little the other way, and I'm drafting a little bit of Colston Loveland. And I do want one of these top 3. I'll say top 4 tight ends. We've talked a lot about that. Brock Bowers, Trey McBride, Colston Loveland, Tyler Warren. That's the order I have him in now. But I did have Tyler Warren ahead of him. I just want that high end value. I want one of these studs if I could get him at a decent cost.
The only thing that you would worry about looking at Colston Loveland would be the fact that he's got a Luther Burden, a Rome Odunze that could target steal a little bit. But the way that I feel about it, I don't see any Rome Odunze doing any target stealing this year. And I see Luther Burden and Colston Loveland, who came in together last year, fucking rising to the occasion. I think both of them are going to do very well. I think Colston Loveland, if he plays like he did, I'll give him the last 6 games of the season last year. If he plays half as well as he did in those last 6 games of the season last year, all throughout the season this year, tight end 1, 2, or 3 is in his grasp.
Yeah, he's not gonna have a season like Trey McBride had last year. I mean, that was like an incredible season. But he could push to 200 fantasy points. He went for 713 yards last year and 6 touchdowns. There's no reason that can't be 1,110.
I'm going to agree with you. I can't. There's nothing bad you want to say about the kid. I mean, he's a class act too. That's the other thing.
Yeah, you never hear anything negative.
No, you don't. And it's only been a year that he's been in the league, so we'll
except though his blocking. He's a terrible blocker.
Yeah, that was known coming in though. That was known coming in.
I kind of like it. If he's a bad blocker, that means he'll block less. You know what I mean? Go run your routes. This is fantasy football.
It's going to do good for fantasy. Yeah, I agree with what you're saying. Agreed. We knew that coming in though, so we knew with him coming into the league and he went where he went in his rookie draft, anyways. People with teams knowing he was not a good blocker. So, I mean, he's just that good offensively that teams are like, "Fuck it, we don't need a blocker."
All right, let's hear your guy, Jeffy.
I'm going to go Jalen Waddle. I think I might have snagged him in the 4th round in this draft today. Maybe 4th or 5th, one of those two.
You know what's crazy, Jeff? I put this together, and we had talked a little bit about your guys. We did this before your draft.
Yeah, we did. Yeah, we did.
Is that not crazy? You drafted like a lot of these guys.
Am I that fucking predictable? Is it that easy to see which direction? I try to come over here and chime in and say that I'm like this big guy on fucking chaos and I love doing all this shit. If I've got the right pick, I will be honest though, I told all the guys today and I admitted to it at work. If I had the first pick overall, I was going Omarion Hampton just to fuck with people in that league. 100%.
Yeah.
Wouldn't have given a fuck. I would have taken all the shit that they would have given me. Not a big deal. I would have gone Omarion Hampton number 1 overall. Fuck it, because why not? One of our part-timers called me last night when I was trying to put my daughter to sleep. So I texted him back and I said, "What's going on?" He was like, "I just wanted to see like what your thoughts were like the whole chaos thing that you were talking about. How did you want to do it? And I was like, well, who are you thinking? And he was like, well, I don't know, maybe like a little wide receiver or something. I was like, you want to cause chaos? Go JSN #1 overall. He didn't do it. He took Bijan, but he went with the right bet. So, all right, back to Jalen Waddle. Jalen Waddle on his new team, the Denver Broncos. Jalen Waddle with Bo Nix over Jalen Waddle with Tua. So last year, everybody said Jalen Waddle is going to have a good season because Tyreek Hill is not there, and he's going to get and suck in all those targets. Well, last year, he caught 64% of the targets that he was given. Fuck you. He had 100 targets. He caught 64 balls last year for 6 touchdowns and 910 yards. 14.2 yards per reception. He is a good wide receiver. It wasn't his best year. It certainly wasn't his worst year. Coming in on a new team, already being labeled the wide receiver 1, him with Bo Nix could make that team so much more scary than they already were last year, and they were already scary last season. They're coming in with a young backfield, with a new addition to it that's going to boost them up. They're coming in with a new addition to their receivers that is going to do more than boost them up. I'm very excited to see how this goes. I'm very excited to see him and Bo Nix connect and see how their on-field relationship works. It's going to, I get a little giddy talking about it because you don't always see teams like this that you get excited to see play, because if everything locks in together, the team is just going to be amazing. I won't say that they're going to be my preseason fucking Super Bowl winners, but they're going to be goddamn close if they play up to what their actual stature is.
I imagine the Rams are your preseason Super Bowl favorite, along with everybody else, including me.
Yeah, I would say the Rams. I would just say that the fucking Broncos would get very close.
I'll throw the Jags in there too. I like them a lot this year.
Oh, you mean the guys that have 4 receivers that could catch for 800 yards in one season together? Yeah, those guys too. I would put them there.
Let me throw some Bo Nix stats at you that might surprise you. The first one, I don't think will. He was number 2 in the league for screens thrown, right behind Patrick Mahomes. So he throws a lot of screens, and Jalen Waddle catches a lot of screens. He's an electric player. He's super talented with the ball in his hand. I see him catching a lot of screens, and that right there, his receptions are going to go up. His yards after carry should be great. And the number 2 stat.
They're feeding the beast by giving him Jalen Waddle. That's good, dude. That's good. I like it.
And the number 2 stat that really surprised me is Bo Nix led the league in passing yards.
He led the league in passing yards last year?
Passing attempts.
Attempts. Holy shit, I heard yards. My bad. I got real excited. When you woo.
So that's a lot of balls to catch. I mean, so if he's throwing the ball that much, Jalen Waddle's going to be catching the ball. I mean, they didn't go out and get him to not use him. So I see him catching a lot of passes. What he does with those passes, I'm not so sure. But I love him in this range. I wanna rag your picks, but I just can't. I like Jalen. All right, let's move on. Christian Watson. I picked him with confidence here in this round 5, and then I looked at his stats and I almost shit my pants because his career stats stink. Sorry. He went 600 yards, 400 yards, 600 yards, 600 yards. That is terrible. However, the Packers have consolidated that target tree. They got rid of Romeo Doubs. They got rid of Dontavian Wicks. And Jordan Love can throw the ball. I mean, I don't think anybody would be surprised if he threw for 4,300 yards this year. Maybe a little more, maybe a little less. And again, I like following the money. They paid Christian Watson. They intend on using him. He's a great downfield threat. I'd be surprised if he doesn't smash his career high for receiving yards.
I mean, his career high being 620 for yards.
I would say he's more likely to double his career high than to match it.
I'm gonna agree with you on that. There's nothing bad I can say about him. Every single time I've watched him play, he's a great receiver. He really is.
I could say bad stuff about him. He can't stay healthy.
Well, I thought that was like the elephant in the room. I thought that was the thing that like everybody knew going into this. Anybody watching and Sean sitting at home getting all fucking mad because all we do is shit talk the fucking Green Bay Packers. I mean, I like his game. He's very talented. He's very good. He's got the wide receiver one talent. The only problem is that he gets hurt a lot.
He's also prototypical. I mean, the guy he's huge. He's like 6'3". He's got like 4.4 speed. He could jump out of the building. I mean, he's got everything they want to see besides healthy knees.
If he could stay healthy for one full season, he could double. He could double what his best was so far. I agree with that. I think I like him here. I do like him a lot here. I just worry about the injury stuff, and everybody worries about it. All the fantasy managers are worrying about it. Is it going to happen again? Could it not happen again? Is it going to be now? Is it going to be later? When the fuck is it going to happen? Just go in with your picks. He's healthy now. Grab him for where he's good for now and just hope for the best as the season goes on. Because if he stays healthy, he's going to produce for you and you are going to love him.
Yeah, and so far in this episode, I've taken all safe players. I think Amon-Ra is safe. I think A.J. Brown is safe. I think Zay Flowers is safe. Colston Loveland is safe. So this is really my first risk and right on cue with me. I don't take risks early, and this is my first one in the 5th round.
All right, so I'm going to talk about DeAndre Swift. Chicago Bears, Bears. I don't think I'm that worried about Monangai because I think Swift he's reaching towards being one of those, like, what do you call it? He's got two Jesus Christ, 2 attacks to his game. He's got 2 sides to his game. Rushing. Thank you. Yes, he can run the ball for 1,000 yards and he can fucking catch the ball for 500. I think he's one of those guys that's he's an RB1. He's gonna have over 1,000 all-purpose yards. He's probably gonna have for over 10 all-purpose touchdowns. He did it last year. He had 10 exactly. 10 exactly all-purpose touchdowns. His biggest season so far for rushing yards is 1,087. Or is that 67? 87. And it was last year. I think it's going to go up. And last year was the year that Monangai went off in that span that he had where he had a very good handful of games. That could happen again this year, but I like the way Swift is looking. Have you seen any tape?
I have not, no.
I've seen a couple. Most of them were out of pads. But they just started putting pads on. There's been a couple of tapes I've seen him in pads. He's moving just like you expect Swift to move. He's got a little of that jitter step in him. He knows how to bust through when he needs to. He knows how to find the holes in that Swiss cheese of a defense that's in front of him. He's good. And I like the way that the Bears use him, and he's got Caleb's trust. So
Ben Johnson used 2 backs on the Lions, Jahmyr Gibbs and David Montgomery, and both of them were started. But Jahmyr Gibbs was better, obviously.
I mean, all around by far, yeah.
And DeAndre Swift is the Jahmyr Gibbs of this Bears offense. So Jahmyr Gibbs is way better than DeAndre Swift.
Yes, you were talking about my comps, and now you're coming in with this shit.
Who's
I
better though? Who's better? DeAndre Swift on the Bengals or Chase Brown on the Bengals?
probably DeAndre Swift because you wouldn't have to worry about losing Burrow.
Yeah.
I would go with DeAndre Swift there. So I just as an all-around thing, I think in DeAndre Swift's career, the number one thing he needed to do was leave Detroit.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then when he did, we finally got to see the wheels moving forward a little bit. He left in year 4 of his career. So once those wheels started moving, they haven't really stopped.
He needed to leave Ben Johnson in Detroit to come to Chicago to play for Ben Johnson.
I have nothing else I can say about that. Let's just move on before I sound like an idiot.
In round 6, and we're going to touch on this a little bit later, I picked Bishal Tootin, and I almost want to change my answer to Jadarian Price because they're right next to each other right now, 63
They are.
and 64.
They are. Yep. I saw that this morning.
Right now, I would choose Jadarian Price, but I am a Seahawks fan. So let me talk about someone who's not on the Seahawks. Bishal Tootin has every chance to be the Jaguars running back 1. They're every down back. I know people are talking about Chris Rodriguez. I know people are talking about LaQuint Allen. But Chris Rodriguez and LaQuint Allen can't do what Bishal Tootin could do. And Bishal Tootin can do what they can do. So is there a little bit of risk with him losing goal line touches and catches? Yeah. But do you want the possible running back 1 in a top 5 offense in the NFL? Absolutely. So
Yeah.
Again, take the chance. As long as you're feeling good about your team to this point, 6th round Bishal Tootin is a great bet.
It's a grab. That's a grab, and that's a very good one. Last year, we only saw a little bit of what he could toss out there. So there's a little risk in that, like you were saying. But with a player that's of his caliber, when you've seen a little bit of what he can do, when you like that little bit of what he can do, a pick like this isn't, to me, and now this is me saying the guy who's got more losses than he does championships. I don't think it's a bad pick because you saw what he could do, but it was just it was a nice little taste test for what is in his caliber of player. Now he's coming out. His tape looks great. He's just there's nobody in his way. Etienne is gone. He's on the Saints. He's the clear number 1. It's just like you said, his game is better and he can do everything that the guys behind him can do anyways. So there's nothing to worry about there.
He's got legitimate top 4 running back upside. I mean, I wouldn't.
The guy I'd worry about would be Lawrence. The guy I would worry about would be Lawrence with him, Trevor Lawrence.
Yeah, because he likes to rush the ball in the red zone.
He'd be the only one that I'd be worried about with him. That's it.
Let's do a little taste test of who you would take: Bishal Tootin or Trevion Henderson.
Oh man, see now we know more of what Trevion Henderson can do. I'd still probably go Bishal.
I would definitely go Bishal. Bishal Tootin or David Montgomery on the Texans.
Bishal.
I'll take Bishal for the upside. Bishal Tootin or Tony Pollard.
You say Nicholas Singleton or Tony Pollard, and I'm taking Nicholas Singleton. So what do you think the chances are I'm going to take Tootin there? Come on.
These guys are going in the same range.
What?
Yeah. Bishal Tootin is a snag at 64.
Pollard's going to drop. Anyways,
let's stay on the Jags. Go for it.
Yeah, oh yes, we are staying on the Jags. So the way I'll lead into this today is one of the part-timers that we have at work said anybody who picks Parker Washington is going to have a hell of a receiver and win the league. And I'm not going to say that if you pick Parker Washington, you're going to be shooing to win your league. But Parker Washington is taking one of my guys, BTJ, and he's using him as a fucking rag right now. He looks very good in the preseason. His practice, no pads. He looks very, very good. Ended off the year hot as can fucking be last year. He had a fucking great season. And he had a great season. He had most of that season happened in probably the last 7 games of the season. Now, like I said, the Jags are the team that have 4 receivers that could go for 800 yards each in 1 year. Will they? Probably not. But the chances are still there because their quarterback likes to throw that much, and all 4 of them have the kind of talent where they can catch that many balls that they need to get that many yards. So I think Parker Washington is probably going to, rise above all of them and become the wide receiver 1 target wise by the end of the year. But he's coming into his breakout season. I think we're seeing big things. He's moved up every year. Last year he did way more than anybody thought he was going to do. And if he stays red hot, not red hot, if he just stays hot, I think we're going to see amazing things coming from him. And a pick here is perfect for him.
You know, that's another dart throw at a super high upside guy, because whoever wins that starting role in Jacksonville, assuming it's anybody, maybe it is just 4 guys splitting the load. But if he does win that job as like the guy in Jacksonville, his targets, like he had 95 targets last year and he was productive. He could be a guy with 120. And then what would the difference be between Parker Washington and Zay Flowers, who I had like 3 rounds earlier? I've said this a few times. I'm going to have a piece of the Jaguars in every league I'm in. And it's probably going to be a different piece in every league because I don't know who the right answer is. And I want to be right in at least one league because the price isn't too high. I mean, it's like, even if you're wrong on Parker Washington, he's probably going to return 6-round value. You know what I mean? He's probably going to go for 805. And you'll feel pretty good about that. You can flex that. That can be a wide receiver 3 for you.
Yeah, so, I don't see any of that. I don't see any of that. I mean, when you're looking at leagues, would you say most of the leagues out there are probably 2 flex?
I would say most of the leagues are 2 running back, 3 wide receiver, 1 flex.
All right. If you're running 3 wide receiver and 1 flex, there's a chance that you're going to use him as your wide receiver 3 or your flex.
Absolutely. And if you're drafting him in the 6th round, you are, right?
Yeah, 100%. 100%.
And you're going to feel good about it, I think.
And if he ends up having the season that we think he can have, I'm not going to say will, because I've already said people will have this kind of season. If he's thinking, fuck it, I will. If he has the season that we know he will have, there's a chance that he's just going to fucking pump right up. And you could say, he's my wide receiver 1. Fuck it. YOLO.
All right. Let's talk some this guy or that guy, who you drafted. And we'll keep with the Parker Washington. Parker Washington or BTJ?
See, now BTJ coming in. He was one of my guys that was fucking hot right off of his rookie season. God damn.
We've seen BTJ be a wide receiver 1.
Yes. In his rookie year?
Yep. But, and here's why I'll take Parker Washington. Trevor Lawrence doesn't really throw outside too much. He likes guys like Parker. And it took Mac Jones to make BTJ a wide receiver 1. So that's why I'm going to go Parker Washington, and they're right next to each other also. They're 72 and 74.
Yeah, I will. I have both of them in our dynasty league that I was thriving on BTJ 2 years ago. So, I mean, for me, I can't go wrong because they're both sitting there for me. But right now, I'm going to say Parker because he just looks so good in and out of pads.
He's looking like the guy, and he absolutely toasted Travis Hunter in a clip I've recently seen. And
yeah, I saw that too. I did.
So he looks good. All right. Ted at 33 or Ladd McConkey at 39?
Ladd McConkey at 39.
Are you just fully in on that Chargers offense, or or you think the Panthers, could compete?
The Panthers offense is not the Chargers offense by any means. I also think Herbert has something that he has to prove. And I think Ladd, I mean, he's the main reason that's going to help him push up to that point. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I go a little bit back and forth on this. I think I'm going to lean Ladd as well, because I think the Chargers could be that good. If I'm talking talent, I think Ted is way better than Ladd. I think he's a hell of a wide receiver, and if he was on a team where he could have a quarterback throw for more than like 170 yards a game, he would be a locked-in wide receiver one. But Bryce Young needs to take a step forward, and I just don't know if he can.
Yeah, I would agree with that. I think he took a little bit of a step forward last year, did he not?
He did, but he still averaged like 190 yards a game or something like that. It kind of sucks.
Yeah, all right. So I'll agree with you on the fact that he needs to take a bit more of a step forward. But I just the whole reason why I would even take Ladd over Tet is just all in all the fact that I think Justin Herbert has something that he has to prove, and I think Ladd is going to be the guy that helps him do it. I really do.
Yeah. I think that's her. And Omarion. All right. Let's talk Price, Jadarian Price, or Vishal Tootin.
Both good offenses. Which offense is going to be better? I don't know.
I put my money on the Jags. I think the Seahawks will probably run the ball more.
I think the Seahawks are going to do. God damn!
They'll be a good offense. The Seahawks. They'll still be a good offense.
Yeah, they're going to be a good offense. I think the Seahawks are probably going to run the ball more because I think coming into the season, they're still right. I mean, yeah, the Super Bowl winners, so they're riding high and winning the Super Bowl. But they had a very good backfield last year. They had two guys that complemented what the other guys didn't have.
Yeah.
So coming in with Price and with Charbonnet hurt, I think Price is probably going to be, and it's not specifically because Charbonnet is hurt. I think Price is probably going to be the guy that I take in this because I do think that Lawrence is a reason why you should worry about Tootin's red zone play. I don't think Price has much to worry about. Barner maybe until Charbonnet comes back. When Charbonnet's not back, Barner maybe.
Yeah,
but I don't. There's not really much else getting his way. I don't see Sammy Boy trying to run the ball in the red zone a lot. I that whole Trevor Lawrence being somebody that likes to run the ball within that, not just the 20, 30-yard line. Likes to run the ball within the 30-yard line. So it's as far as fantasy goes, it's a little worrisome. And Price, I don't think he's got anybody in his fucking way. I think he's going to do great things. And then Charbonnet is going to come back, and we're going to watch a team figure it out in front of our eyes. So
I'm going to take Price here too. I know he talked up Tootin. I love them both. There's a lot of leagues I'll probably take one of them in the 5th round and one of them in the 6th, or I'll just hope and pray one of them falls to the 7th. But I like both these guys at cost. Okay. Ja'Cory Crosby-Merritt or Nick Singleton? And these guys actually are far
when you came up with these guys, were you specifically aiming with guys that I like and then guys that I don't like that are higher than the guys that I do like?
Yes.
Yeah, I had a feeling. I'm probably going to go and this is going to be a very unpopular opinion because Crosby-Merritt had good games last season. He had good weeks for fantasy managers, and of course, it makes certain people think, "Oh my God, with him coming in, he could be the RB1, this and that." Shut the fuck up. He's not going to be the RB1. He's going to sit behind Rachaad White, and Crosby-Merritt is going to have to hope that he does exactly what he did last season if Rachaad White goes down this season. Rachaad White was not on the Commanders last year, so he is not who went down last year. But Krosky Merritt came in, showed that he could play football as a running back on the Washington Commanders.
Did you really have to specify football?
I did, because I don't fucking like him. Nicholas Singleton, we've seen the kind of running back that has come out of Penn State. We've seen what they can put in to the NFL in Saquon Barkley. And Saquon Barkley is a great in the last decade. There's no argument about it. He's a great running back in the last decade. One of the greatest in the last decade.
Yeah.
I'm not saying that Singleton is going to add up to him, but I'm saying that those coaches that fucking Penn State are doing more than touching their players. So to be honest with you, he's got Tony Pollard in front of him. Tony Pollard's not what he was when he was on the Cowboys. And I do think Singleton can
4 straight 1,000-yard seasons. Tony Pollard, 4 straight 1,000-yard seasons.
Is that including last year?
Yep.
Oh shit. Okay, so I'll say it again. I don't think he was when he was on the Cowboys. I don't think he is what he was when he was on the Cowboys. I think Singleton, if Singleton comes in hot, has a chance to pass Pollard out. Now, that being said, that sounds fucking crazy after you say 4,000-yard plus seasons in a row. But it's not an unpopular opinion that the Titans might actually want to use somebody new, because Pollard's a little boring.
Here's the deal of why I will take Singleton here. You're right that it's like, it sounds crazy because ADP on Ja'Cory Krosky Merritt right now is 109, and ADP on Nick Singleton is 197. What is the upside of Ja'Cory Krosky Merritt?
Don't worry, we'll wait. We'll wait.
Is his best case scenario 800 yards with 4 touchdowns? He's just not going to get enough of the pie to be worth it. He's just not good enough.
So we've talked about it before. Rachaad White is coming in and he is going to take all those catches for the backfield.
Yep. And Kaytron Allen is going to steal some of the short yardage.
Kaytron Allen, another guy that's coming in from Penn State. He's just another one. Two schools had 2 guys go in the draft this year. Congratulations to all 4 of those running backs. Where they all landed, they all landed in relatively good spots. And I mean, Jeremiah Love landed in a great spot. Jadarian Price landed in a fucking great spot. And Nicholas Singleton and Kaytron Allen. Kaytron Allen has a little bit more of an... All right. Kaytron Allen, out of all the 4 of the guys, has a fucking huge hill that he needs to climb up. Huge hill being Krosky Merritt and Rachaad White. Rachaad White in a Rachaad White season, yeah, that could be a little bit of a mountain. But if he ends up coming in and doing what he did last year, it's not that big.
Ja'Cory Krosky Merritt was a 7th round pick, and Rachaad White is a great receiving back, but he could lose his short yardage. So there's no reason Kaytron Allen can't take Ja'Cory Krosky Merritt's.
No, it's 100%. And he's looking at a guy that's looking for his, I think I've probably said this a dozen times, a guy that's looking for his time to shine because he's tired of being put in that back seat. Yeah. By all means, plow through the other 2 in front of you and get those touches that you deserve, because in a backfield that's definitely 3 deep right now with guys that can all play the position relatively well. I mean, aside from Krosky Merritt, he's a little bit of a boring running back, but I'd like to see these young guys come up. I'd like to see these young running backs show what they can fucking do and show what their worth is. Here, Nicholas Singleton, he takes the cake for me.
All right. Here are 2 exciting ones that we'll end with. We'll go Drake London or Justin Jefferson. So this is end of the first round. Building your team around Maybe you end up with both of them, but if you have to pick one, London or JJ, who's it going to be?
All right. So, oh man, I'm probably going to take JJ.
All right.
Justin Jefferson. And one of the reasons being is because you take him in the top 5 of the first round. He's a top 5 pick in the first round. Easy. Are you saying no? Are you saying no? Dude, come on. You're telling me Kyler Murray's not going to throw over 4,000?
You're taking Justin Jefferson in the top 5 of the first round this year?
I'm just saying. Overall, he's a top 5 pick in the first round of a fantasy draft. Is he not?
Not this year. He's not. Not last year.
I didn't say this year. I said overall. Overall was the specific wording that I used in that sentence.
You're going to have to explain to me what you mean, Jeff.
All right. So what I'm saying is that maybe if I said it this way, Justin Jefferson is a top 5 pick in the first round talent.
Oh, yes.
Okay.
He to me is the most talented wide receiver in the league right now.
Okay. That being said, he has a quarterback, Kyler Murray, that I do believe he just got named QB1 on that team, correct?
You did. Yep.
Okay. So him being named QB1 on that team after leaving the Cardinals and like all the shit that he went through there at the beginning of his career was great. And he's looking for his comeback year. I'd love to call it. He's looking for his Baker Mayfield year. His situation wasn't as bad as a comeback year that he needed. Baker Mayfield was against all fucking odds and he did it and he's great and we love him. But Kyler Murray needs his comeback year. He is on a team right now that has 3 receivers and a tight end that can help him do that. Justin Jefferson, with that talent that he's got, is a receiver that he can throw to and trust right off the fucking rip. He is the one that's going to help him bounce back in his career as a quarterback and not look like Minnesota made another bad decision like they did in their quarterback position last year.
Do we feel confident that Kyler Murray could run an offense similar to what Sam Darnold did?
No.
On the Vikings?
No, he doesn't. We don't. Because he's not the same kind of player. Sam Darnold's not going to try to run. He'll sit in the pocket.
All I know is I watched Kyler Murray run the Cardinals like one of the worst offenses in the league. And then Jacoby Brissett walked in and made them look decent. I don't really have any faith that Kyler Murray could fix that offense from last year. Is it going to be better than it was with J.J. McCarthy? Yeah, sure. And do I have Justin Jefferson being better than last year? It would be pretty damn hard not to be better than last year. But do I have him bouncing back to the Sam Darnold and Kirk Cousins years of glory where he's catching 1,800 yards and 8 touchdowns, 1,500 yards, and 10 touchdowns? I don't think so. Drake London has Tua now, which is not good. I'm not going to pretend that it is good. But he's not competing with a Jordan Addison, a TJ Hawkinson, a Juwan Jennings for targets. He's going to get, 160. I'll take Drake London. All right. The last one. Derrick Henry or Saquon Barkley. Two old guys that ended up.
Two old guys that ended up.
Younger than us, both of them.
Oh, yes, correct. Dude. You can't go wrong in this situation, I don't think. Ravens offense is going to be a little bit different this year. Coaching staff is different. The way that they're going to run everything is going to be different. He is still going to be the center. There's nothing that's going to take that away from him. He is still going to be the center. He's coming off of a basically 1,600 yard season. He's going to be the center of that offense. Saquon Barkley, first year on Philly, 2,000 yards. Second year on Philly, 1,140. They ran him basically 60 times less than they did the year before. I'm not saying that's a bad thing. I'm not saying that 280 attempts with 1,140 yards and 7 touchdowns is bad, because it's not. It's good. Is it going to be as good as the 307 and 1,595 with 16 that Derrick Henry did last year on a not so great Ravens offense? No, I'm going to take Derrick Henry.
I'll take Derrick Henry too. I've doubted him too long. I've been saying that he's too old for like 5 years now. And do you know how many years
Just
in
to
a row
point
he's
that
had?
out, he said 5 years. The last 5 years, he's done 937 with 10, 1538 with 13, 1167 with 12, 1921 with 16, and 1595 with 16. All over 200. Well, I mean, except for that 1 year at 219 where he only played 8 games, but 937 yards in 8 games with 10 touchdowns. That's fucking insane. Every other season other than that, it was 280 touches plus.
That 8-game season, he was on track for 440 carries. He's rushed for 10 plus touchdowns in 8 consecutive years. I just
One of them, he only played half the season.
He played 8 games in one of them. He had 900 yards and 10 touchdowns. I just have to stop doubting him. I'm taking Derrick Henry. Derrick Henry, to me, is the running back of our generation. He picked up where Adrian Peterson left off, and he's that guy for me. He's above Saquon, he's above CMC, above Kamara, above Dalvin Cook, all those studs. He's the running back of our generation, and if he gets too old and falls off the cliff on my team, so be it. All right, Jeffy boy, let's call it a night.
We're going to call it a night. My final word will be, if you guys think it's possible, like I did, to draft the same way in a 12-man league that you would in an 8-man league, you will find out very quickly that you are dead fucking wrong, because those 4 picks make a huge fucking difference, even in just the first round. So don't be like me and don't try to do what I did, because you will have to switch things up very fucking quickly the same way that I did.
Reach less in a 12-man draft and
Correct.
And take less chances, because
Correct.
that player pool dries up fast.
Fast, very fast. Safety is key in that kind of league.
Fantasy Dad Duo signing out.
Have a good night, guys. That was a quick sign out.